Finally, the news we have all been waiting for. We have agreed a front of shirt sponsor. Today, my friends, we have some news updates and some big club news to discuss. So I hope you guys enjoy, show us some love. But before I continue on with this video, I would absolutely love if you guys can show us some love, show us some support, and catch my first video that I've released on my original channel, Anini FC. First upload in 7 years right now by clicking on the link above or catching the video afterwards. I've been meaning to tackle having a second channel for a long time because you guys know this by now. I'm a football nerd. I watch a lot of football outside of Chelsea, and yeah, it's been a long time coming, and I'm really looking to do some exciting things on that second channel. It won't just be one of those lazy second channels where you're just, I don't know what you're doing, wasting everyone's time. I have plans to really build that as its own individual thing, and fingers crossed, God willing, one day it can rival what I've built on Blue Lines TV. So if you guys want to be part of that journey, man, click on the link above or description below. Love for that, my guys, and let's get straight to tackling these stories. For the first story that broke today, the club have announced a partnership, a front of shirt sponsor deal with Dubai-based luxury property group Damac. Now, the club released a statement saying with this partnership, Damac will build Chelsea residences, and they'll be like fully designed and launched in partnership with the club in Dubai. So these are going to be like football themed style residential apartments. Of course, they come part of big investment plans in Dubai. I was curious what this could look like. I used some AI sites to try and like produce some conceptual images. Like, no way it could just be that obvious, right? Like, look at the apartment, bro. Can you imagine? Yeah, you're some bachelor. You know, you're bringing back your missus or your partner or something, and she's seeing that. Like, you're not gonna lie, you're gonna scare away all the doors. But like, I'm not gonna be getting into that. But fair enough, you know. Listen, I'm sure in real life it's gonna look an incredible piece of work. Hopefully it'll be a bit subtle, not too in your face. I don't need to see blue here and there. But yeah, it sounds pretty exciting. And before I start being too cynical, I need to see what it looks like first. But regardless, this is really positive news for us. I think it's quite obvious that we wanted to secure something in time for the Club World Cup. We had a lot of conversations and negotiations with many businesses in the come up to the Club World Cup. So yeah, now that we have this should give us maybe some extra financial relief now, which is the important thing. But anyway, I guess this is a great sign of what's to come under our newly appointed President of Business in Jason Gannon. And he says Damac are a world-renowned in building luxury properties, and we are thrilled to be working with the industry leader to bring to market a first-of-its-kind branded Chelsea FC residence in Dubai. With the club located in the heart of London, the collaboration will bring Chelsea to life in Dubai, support our continued growth on the global stage. We can't wait to see Chelsea residence take its place in the Dubai skyline. Now, it does sound pretty exciting. I like unique type of things, and I'm really curious to see what these apartments could look like. I actually have some boys who are in Dubai. I had thoughts maybe going there end of the year. I'm not too sure just yet. But outside of my personal life, the main thing you have to know about this deal is that this is a short-term deal. Expect to see our new front and shirt sponsor in tomorrow's semi-final game against Djurgårdens, the Swedish club we're playing against in the semi-final of the Conference League. And I think we're going to expect to see them representing us in the Club World Cup as well. So this gives us a little bit of financial help now, especially when it comes to securing targets and players. We have to boost the club's revenue capacity. That's been one of the key things. And with the recent announcements of Damac today, as well as FTP Software, a company that have their own ambitions to become our front of shirt sponsor. We do have some interesting backup choices, and we are still in constant negotiations with big brands over what to do. things like Jordan, things like certain airlines, etc., etc. But honestly, I think if it's confirmed that we have Champions League football, you're going to see a lot of positive things coming this summer. And I think this is why I'm so desperate. This is why I'm so results focused about winning the Conference League and securing Champions League football. If we do that, my friends, it's going to be a very exciting summer. So what's your thoughts and opinions on the story today? Let us know below. And this takes us nicely to a pretty interesting developing story surrounding, in my opinion, one of the most talented team players in the world right now. And that is River Plate potential great in Franco Mastantuono. I mean, he scored an incredible free kick against Boca Juniors recently. I mean, that type of talent when you're like not even 18 years old just yet, it's insane. He doesn't look like he's 17. He looks like he's been kicking this ball professionally now for at least 5-7 years. And yeah, with a talent this good, can you blame the club for starting to get a bit greedy? But anyway, before I give my thoughts and opinions on that, let's tackle the news reports. And as we're learning from Fabrizio Romano, Real Madrid are out the race to sign him. They're bulking out the package that would be needed to acquire his services. And yeah, I have to say, in an alternate universe, Madrid and Barcelona aren't facing all these financial hurdles, because if they weren't, I feel like we'd have lost out on the races for your Esteval Williams, potentially Mastantuonos, and players of this caliber, because their ambitions is always to play for those Spanish giants. So, you know, on one hand, it's a positive that with this new recruitment model, we are able to access signing some of the very best top of the range young talents in the world. That's a big thing. And as I keep stressing, there's a lot of onus on us to continue to diversify in the South American market. Hence why we're strategically looking to make a lot of moves in those regions so we can boost our fan base, our fanship, you know, trying to create some legacy effects in those regions so more South American talents see us as a prime destination to come to and stay. So, you know, of course, it's exciting stuff, but let's see if this execution works out how we're planning it to be. Romano reveals that at the moment, the race is open and it's currently between us and Man United. We know this news. Both clubs are trying to entice Mastantuono with the best possible package, because naturally a kid this good needs to have the most optimum career pathway you can offer him. And this is where I want to give some of my thoughts and opinions, because bro, at what point is it just getting too greedy? Like, I'm struggling to picture how you could maybe incorporate future lineups of like Esteval, Kenda, Mastantuono, Kendry Paez, Andre Santos. Like, unless we're going to do some 4D football that we haven't seen. Could we maybe get inspired by what, you know, Enrique's doing with Paris Saint-Germain? You know what? I've always loved, personally, that type of free-flowing, super fluid, false nine type of football where if you do it properly, if you've got the right technicians in your team who can pull this type of play off, honestly, it's some of the best football you're going to watch. And in my head, that's the only way I can see us justifying all these moves for these incredible youngsters. Are you going to see some madness like flipping Santos at the base, Paez and Mastantuono flanking him in midfield, a winger of Kendra on the left, Esteval on the right-hand side, and whoever we sign up front? Or could it even be maybe like Esteval one day becoming that Ousmane Dembele false nine guy? Because we know that Esteval has hopes to play more in the middle. And I could foresee him in the future as he grows and develops, maybe being like a false nine option. If that was the case, maybe, you know what I mean? What is it going to be like? Franco on the right, Esteval in the middle, left Kenda, and a midfield of Caicedo, Santos, and Paez. I mean, this is what I mean. It just sounds, even like discussing it, it just sounds so fantastical, and it just sounds a bit crazy, because we can't have all these excellent youth talents whilst we have to accommodate your Enzos, your Palmers, your Lavias, your Caicedos, whoever's inverting the defense, etc., etc. So I'm really curious to see how this would make sense, because if you're looking to exercise this release clause, this is someone that's in your squad immediately. He's not going on Strasbourg on loan. You're not loaning him out anywhere. You're introducing him straight to your first team where, listen, he could be that understudy to Cole Palmer. Personally, I don't think Cole Palmer has to be ending games in the 90th minute all the time. I think he should be getting subbed off a lot more often. And I guess in the case of Franco, not only is he exquisite on the ball, incredibly cultured left foot, but he puts that work in, man. He can use his body to shield the ball. He doesn't shy away from that. And there's even been talks I've been reading of how he could possibly develop into being more of like a midfield player, like the third man midfield option that connects the midfield and the attack. That could make quite a lot of sense for his career direction. And maybe that's the only possible way I could see this making sense at the moment, right? So let's watch the space because these reports aren't going anywhere anytime soon. What's your thoughts on this, man? Is this just too greedy and it's just becoming overkill? Or is Franco just like so elite that, signing him is setting you up for the next 10 years? Tell us how you feel. And to end with things, my friends, we discussed the predicted lineup for our semi-final game against Djurgårdens. I hope I'm pronouncing this right, as we hope to secure our final spot against, in my opinion, probably Real Betis. And that is going to be a very hard game because they're having an exceptional season. So yeah, that'll be like our final major test in this competition because I'm just so confident that we're going to go through right now. Now, clearly our priority has to be beating Liverpool this weekend. They've won the league. Hopefully they're going to be off the steam a little bit right now. If that's the case, they're there for the taking. We prioritize that. We keep our first team stars fully fit, fresh and ready for our home game against them because beating them not only will give us so much confidence to end this season, but then it really helps cement our spot in this CL hunt at the moment. So as you guys are seeing on screen, naturally there's going to be a lot of rotation because we need to keep our guys fit. And as you're seeing up front, Tyree George, who... it's a good thing that Maresca has always kind of experimented a bit of finding the most optimum way to get balance in his team. And I think Tyreek up front could have happened maybe a bit sooner, as if all of us were strongly suggesting that. Let's keep it real. But I'm glad that solution has been found because I think Tyreek just is probably like the best Nico alternative outside of himself and Pedro Neto to support him. Jadon Sancho on the left-hand side, Madueke on the right-hand side because, he got subbed off earlier on in our win against Everton. I'd imagine he might be starting. And the only thing I'm having reservations about, are we going to see Nkunku play, which probably makes the most sense. But on the other side, he's not happy right now. He's not been playing games recently. He's not coming off the bench. There's belief that, he's 100% out the door. And my only concern is, could we maybe ostracize him away from first team duties? Again, it's just a thought, but even then, I'd be surprised if that was the case because Palmer has to rest. So yeah, I think Nkunku has to be playing in behind. In midfield, I've gone back for Dewsbury Hall, Reece James. Reece didn't play against Everton. And I think Maresca is very much thinking about Moises, Lavia and Enzo in that midfield against Liverpool. That is going to be key for us. We're going to need that to win that mid-battle. So I think Reece James will be starting in midfield. I'm kind of okay with Reece playing the supplement role this season. And I fully agree with Maresca slowly introducing him back to first team duties and first team demands because he was constantly breaking down by getting rushed back. So respect to Maresca for thinking about the long term. And I think Reece James will come back stronger next season. And I'm kind of not caring about his season at the moment, keeping it real with you. In defense, I'm guessing Cucurella will be the left back. It would be nice to see Samuel Smith play, but he hasn't been in any lineups this entire season. He has signed his contract extension, and there are talks that he is set to remain here from next season. Could he be that competition figure for Cucurella? If that's the case, man, why not maybe give him some minutes against Djurgårdens tomorrow? Time will tell. Badia Tosin will be our defense. Badia, another guy who I think Maresca, we're forgetting, is like slowly reintroducing back into first team demands because he's also been breaking down time and time again. So yeah, it will be big for him to, hopefully play in the final, hopefully win the Conference League and push on again in the Club World Cup and from next season. And naturally, for the final one, obviously, Atlampong and Djurgården. Djurgården speaks for himself. Atlampong, I really like how this kid was playing the inverted role. He's a natural football player. I think one of the special gifts he has is his carrying ability. Like, you know, his side steps into space, and just like the control is so consistent and so strong and sharp. And I just love that he's constantly got that confidence to exploit spaces and go on these like surging runs. I think that's a really strong character of his. And yeah, he's been one of the revelations of our season, youth-wise. And I'm hoping he gets more opportunities from next season for sure. So there you have it, my guys. That is my predicted lineup for our first leg semi-final affairs against Djurgårdens. Yeah, if this team isn't winning the first leg, then I don't know. But anyway, my guys, that is me for today. I would absolutely love if you guys show love by subscribing to Nini FC, catching my first video on that channel, and just staying tuned for everything I have planned on my second channel. Love, my guys. Cool.